All right, broskies. Fucking look who we have here. Just a giant we found on the side of the road.
Yeah, fucking just a massive cunt. Righty.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for picking me up, guys. I was lost without.
Yeah, he was just like
he was me on.
Yeah, he was just he was screaming.
I've been struggling for content. I've been offering blowjobs to get on people's shows. You guys finally picked me up. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Just a couple hand jobs. That's not really hard.
It's one BP touch each, mate. We're fucking pretty good.
A couple handies. I got you.
At the same time, thanks.
You got to do what you got to do. It is what it is.
I'm just trying to blend. Just trying to blend in here. You guys see beer. I got Foster's.
I'm going pretty hard, Mount Franklin boys.
What the fuck? I went all out. You know what? The guy looked at me when I was like, "Hey, do you guys have any Foster's beer?" They're like, "The Australian shit." I go, "Yeah." Do you guys have any of that here? The look they shot me was insane. They told me to get out of the store.
Yeah.
That looks like Walmart VB right there.
That is.
It's not the real stuff.
No.
It's not the real stuff. You guys are drinking Jack Daniels. You're drinking American shit. It's not the real stuff.
I know. I know. I need to get some fucking VB, some fucking Carltons, some dries.
Oh yeah, I can't go wrong with a count, mate.
That's what we need, mate.
You guys are on lockdown. You guys are in a fucking prison over there currently.
No, we're right at the moment.
Everything's totally open right now.
It's pretty much. We're pretty much good to go. Yeah, there's very minimal restrictions now.
Really?
It's just
like all Australia, or just where you're at.
I don't know what's happening in Brisbane. Like everywhere else is good. And then,
those cunts had a fucking 3-day lockdown.
Are they good though?
Nothing
now?
serious. Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, so we're pretty much open.
Actually, what's the situation where you're at, Derek?
I don't. You wouldn't even know there was COVID.
It's non-existent there, right?
Yeah,
I fucking thought so.
Yeah.
Dude, people just don't. People are so like for a couple of days they were hardcore about it, and then people just don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I just went to the store. I just went to go buy that Foster's. I was like, I had a mask in my pocket, and I was like, they're probably not gonna say shit. And I went in there. The guy selling shit didn't have a mask on. The people in line didn't have a mask. No one give a fuck. And then I'm just kind of like, what's up, fellas? And they're all, hey, what's going on, man? And I work in like I said, I work in a strip club, and they're trying to enforce it, but it's just kind of like no one cares. Like, none of the dancers want to wear it. None of the customers want to wear it. No one is there enforcing it. It's just kind of like no one wants to have shit.
So no one comes from like the higher up or like the legislation, let's say.
There's so many.
Try to enforce it.
There's so many stores, and it's just like, and even the cops and everything don't want to do it. Like no.
Oh, really?
So it's just like. Yeah. Dude, they even relaxed in the local like bar scene. They relax you because normally it's against the law to take alcohol outside of the bar. You can't walk out with your drink. You don't give a fuck, man. People are walking around the streets, fucking hammered, falling over and shit. Police are just over it. Like everybody's just over the whole COVID thing. You die. Moving forward, yeah, like that's kind of like.
Yeah,
it's Wild Wild West. You know?
In Victoria, we had like the worst fucking lockdown in Australia. It was like 6+ months of just. Stage 4.
Hey, at that time, it was the worst one in the world.
Yeah. It was.
How many cases? Do you guys have a bunch of cases or no?
We peaked at like 700 cases a day.
Oh, a day. I was like, what?
Yeah, and then which was.
I had COVID. Did you guys have COVID?
Nah, never. Thankfully. What did it feel like for you?
I guess I got pretty sick. It was just like in retrospect, I was moderately sick. But the amount of fear and bullshit people were putting in my head while I was sick made it like so much worse. Like I'd be sick and my mom would be calling me. She's freaking out, of course, because she's watching the news and shit. And then she'll be like, you didn't have a cough, right? You're not starting to cough because my friend's, friend, her husband had a cough and he went to a coma and died once he got the cough. And I was like, no, I don't think. Oh God, I got a cough. I'm just like everything just kept happening. Like I'd read the worst stories. It was fucking with my head. So I thought I was gonna die like 10 times. It was bad.
Fuck.
But I was alright.
Yeah, fear's a real thing.
I couldn't leave arm wrestling yet. Not yet.
Nah, fuck no. So let's fucking dig into a bit of history for you, Matt. And just quickly, if our accents deviate a bit, become more Aussie, we're expecting you.
Don't blame us.
Yeah.
This isn't bad. It tastes like beer.
Yeah. So I think just quickly, fucking you're around 6'8" tall.
6'8".
6'8". And what's your weight for all the
what was that? I weighed myself 2 days ago. It was 348 in pounds. So what's that? Like
150 kilos? 150 something?
About there.
155, I don't know. I'm guessing. I know 315 pounds is 140 kilos.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That many. All the
Yeah.
kilos. All the kilos.
Yeah,
You'll
mate.
fit right into Brisbane with those 8 guys, mate.
Yeah.
With all the 8 strongest men in the world.
Fucking oath.
Yeah. With all the...
Are they all
Fit right
gigantic
in.
in Brisbane?
Sorry?
Are they all gigantic in Brisbane or what?
Yeah.
Everyone's
Actually,
massive.
the average height in Brisbane is actually 7 foot.
Is it?
Yeah.
Average.
Yeah. So
Damn.
like, even the grandmas make Khaled look small. If you didn't
They
know.
set world records. Everybody sets world records. It's some different shit.
And all the time, too.
Yeah.
Just PR. Just be renamed PR City.
Pretty much. Oh shit. So when did you start arm wrestling? Because you've been in the sport for a while.
Yeah. Let's see. It was 11 or 12 years ago. There was a remember you guys ever heard of UAL?
Yes.
Yes.
Ultimate Arm Wrestling League.
Okay. So I was with there was a UAL event and I went to how did I find out about it? Oh, someone gave me Ethan Fritchie from the show Game of Arms. He gave me Alan Fisher's phone number. I reached out to Alan Fisher. I called Alan Fisher's house, and then his wife answered, Carolyn Fisher, who she's like a multiple world champion back in the day, and not a 27-time world champion like Alan Fisher, but she's a world champion, I guess, from back in the day. Anyway, she's super nice, and I was like, hey, I want to get into arm wrestling. She said, there's a tournament in Los Angeles, which is about an hour and a half away from me. She's like, there's a tournament in Los Angeles this today, if you want to go check it out. And I was like, cool. I drove down there, and that's the one where Travis is like with Richard Lupke, stand up big, I'm gonna bust that hammer. You know that video?
That was a good video.
So yeah, that was that tournament. So I'm in the crowd there, like that's my first time ever seeing arm wrestling in person. And but like leading up to that, I had fucking 7 months of hardcore internet nerd research behind me. Like I knew who Travis Bajan was. Like I knew, but I just couldn't find arm wrestling. I didn't know how to find it. And there was nobody was on Facebook. There was there was 2 or like 3 YouTube videos total. There was it was super hard to find shit back then. There was no teams.
What about you? You guys have that that wall. What do they call it? Fucking
a wall?
Like oh my god, why is it's not coming to me right now?
I don't know.
You guys had like the one-stop shop for all information arm wrestling.
The Northeast Board?
That's the one, Northeast Board.
I didn't know about that. Like that's hard to find. That's like a really random fucking name, northeastboard.com.
Well, it is true, yeah.
You know, if you don't know somebody, I didn't know where to find that shit. So I was still off my own. And I went there, saw Richard Lupke's the biggest, and I'm 6'8", and I'm taller than him. He's like 6'5" or something like that, 6'4", but the biggest human I'd ever seen in my life up to that point. Yeah. Like he was just standing there, just like, he's like heat is coming off him. You could he's just a massive monster of a man. And then you talk to him, Mr. Lupke's, yeah, how you doing? Hey, nice to meet you. He's the nicest, most soft-spoken dude ever in the world. You're like, holy shit! And I thought you were gonna kill me. But I heard. Then they told me about their next event. I didn't compete in that one, but they're like, hey, in like 2 weeks we're gonna have an event, in a smaller place. And so I got the information. I went down to the next event. It's my first time competing. Like 2 weeks later, and I'd still never been to a practice. No one's ever taught me shit at this point. And I competed. That's the one where Travis and Devin had a super match where I don't know, one gets out of like a lifted truck, one gets out of a Lamborghini, and they have some weird ass super match. So it's like they did left and right hand. Devin won right-handed, Travis won left-handed. Anyway, at that time I didn't know who Devin was. He was just the Canadian guy. I didn't know. I wasn't up to date on my arm wrestling news. He was already world champ, like number 1 in the world, I think, at that time. But I wasn't finding current news, so I didn't know. And so I met Devin, but I knew who Travis was, and I was like, I remember my dad at that first tournament ever. I got 3rd in amateurs, and my dad looked at Travis and was like, hey, Travis, my boy wants to beat you someday. And I heard Travis was like, man, your boy is way too late. It's going to take him 7 years before he even tries to beat me. He wasn't even encouraging at all. He was like, he's never going to touch me, man. I swear to God, just went off he did his whole Travis dance. Yeah. And then I met Devin, hey, what's up, random Canadian? Anyway, hey, Travis, I had no idea who he was. Then anyway, that's where I got Jamie Sheldon's phone number. And that's where I made all the networking. Got people's numbers, and that's how I got into it. But that was like 11 years ago or something.
Shit.
It's a long time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
That's a pretty good intro. Like just seeing Travis Page and Richard
Yeah.
Hopkins go at it for the first time ever.
Yeah, that was a crazy. I had no idea what I was watching. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I was just hyped big.
yeah. Fuck yeah. So fast forward, just because you're in Southern California, you said.
Yeah. Yep.
Are there any elites close to you, or?
Well, what's elite?
Yeah.
I would just
Let's
say
get into that
elite.
one. You tell me what's elite, and I'll tell you if there's any near me.
I'd say what
And are
you
you talking
consider
about
top 10
overalls
in
or
North
like in their weight
America.
classes?
Just in weight classes, top 5 in North America, or top 10.
Top 5 in North America. I think Dallas Langston is currently top 5 at 200 pounds. He is 45 minutes away from me.
Yep.
Is Jamie? Where's Jamie and Alan Fisher? Are they?
Yeah,
Jamie Sheldon and Alan Fisher.
Yeah, I consider them.
Okay. Then Alan is roughly 2 hours away from me. Jamie is 40 minutes away from me. And then we got Vosgen Segoyan, hour and a half.
Lots of lightweights. Any heavyweights?
Right. We have Tony Tomlinson, who is, I don't know what he's ranked. I think Tony's ranked ahead of me, ranked right now, because I haven't even been competing. I think he's like 17th in the nation left-handed ranked, and I don't know if he's ranked right-handed because there's a couple different rankings. But like top 20, a couple top 20 super heavyweights basically around here. And then up north, about 7 hours away, is Tom Nelson. About the same distance into Arizona as like John and some of the top Arizona, John Brzenk, some of the top Arizona guys. It's not a super active, super heavyweight area at all, to be honest, compared to the East Coast.
Right.
Is Tom Nelson still training at all? Because he seems like he's been inactive for a while.
I haven't seen him in like 3 years-ish, 3 or 4 years. So I hear he just started training again. Some of the guys that he was practicing with came down here recently, and I practiced with them, and they're like, yeah, Tom just came out for his first couple practices recently. And they told me I would crush him. They told me I would absolutely crush Tom. Because Tom is, when I'm peak form, I believe, but it has yet. Tom always had the title as #1 in California, right? And rightfully so. He was #1, like right-handed and potentially left-handed in California. He got kind of pretty inactive, so we don't see him. He doesn't have a lot of opportunities to lose that title. But just off respect, I always tell people, I think I'll beat Tom. I think I'm #1, but I until I beat him, I won't tell people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure, and everybody tells me I will, but I never see him, so we never arm wrestle. He's not around. So, but Tom's also not like true super. I mean, he can easily cut you just to heavyweights or get below 240 pounds. That's a 100-pound cut for me, so I'm not going anywhere below 240 pounds, 120 pounds.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Tom's a beast when he's on for sure. It's just I think he's been really inactive in the last couple of years, but he always says he's getting back into it. He always says I'm starting training next week, and just we don't see it.
Doesn't.
Yeah, he just doesn't. So
he's been,
I don't know,
one of the most entertaining characters in arm wrestling for me.
Yeah, Tom don't give a fuck.
Especially that Game of Arms ordeal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no fucks given when it comes to the Nelsons. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, like they come from like a family of fighters, don't they?
Yeah, I know his brother fights, and then his sister. I mean, if she's a fighter, you're gonna know she's in the room if you're in the room, like for sure. Yeah, Kelly, she's awesome. But none of them hold back. None of them are bashful. That whole family is just like in your face type of style. Yeah. So, I mean, he tried to kill John Brzenk over that shit. That one time. That's crazy.
Can't beat him, choke him.
Yeah. All that stuff. I can't blame him. I mean, Travis. So I'm surprised that's like the only incident with Travis. Really, I'm surprised there's not way more.
Yeah, especially with Travis's personality. He's always asking for it.
He's always asking for it. Such a cunt,
Yeah.
There's my first Australian slang. Just using the word cunt freely.
Fuck yeah, Matt. Yeah, I know Americans.
Term of endearment.
It is. Like you call your mates cunts and people you don't like, mate. It's
you call
weird.
cunts mates.
Yeah. So if you don't like someone, you just be like, mate. If you love someone, just be like, cunt.
Really? That's how it goes, huh?
Yeah.
What about women? What if you call a girl?
Oh, we kind of.
Yeah, here or there.
Here or there. It's it's almost exclusive to males, but there is some crossover.
Gotcha. Dude, I do plan on like at some point I want to come to Australia. Now I'm Mr. Derek, international traveler, and so Australia is definitely somewhere I want to go.
Melbourne
It's
and
just
Sydney, mate. Melbourne and Sydney.
Melbourne,
Don't worry
Sydney.
about the rest.
Yeah.
You know, those are the famous places anyway. Who cares? I didn't even heard about Brisbane until someone said about strong guys there or some shit.
Yeah.
So the I want to do a tour, but one thing I learned from this like little mini Dubai tour, Dubai Turkey thing I did is like, fuck, man, you forget like how much your arm can take and how much it's like it's too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've never like been in a position where I had to arm wrestle like day after day after day after day, like Devin does. Like it looks so easy when Devin just flies around and arm wrestles everybody every other day, gets the top guys in the area, and he's just good to go. Like fuck that, dude. I was doing moderate arm wrestling, like light level arm wrestling, and still just day after day after day though, like it was just destroying me.
Yeah.
And by the time then I have to arm wrestle Hermes after like 4 days of arm wrestling shit, then Hermes pops in for a real practice. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, like this is the worst thing. My wrist was like fucking just baloney. It was just floppy, like I couldn't even hold on to him. Like, a lot of shit. But anyway, in regards to my next international tours, I have to like be smarter about for me because I'm not Devin and I'll never be Devin. And I don't think honestly, I don't think anybody else could do that either. I don't think anybody else could do what Devin does and just fly around and arm wrestle all day at a high level, at a really, really high level. You know what I mean? And just hold the best. Whoever comes around, the best in your area, come on, bring him and just hold him. The next day, do it again to the next guy.
I don't know how he does it.
Just,
yeah. Honestly.
His endurance. Have you guys met or arm wrestled Devin?
Yeah.
Twice, yeah.
How long did he sit on the table for? Was he on the table all day?
It's all day. He just never stops.
And he seems to get stronger. Like eventually it takes, in my experiences, it takes Devin like 2.5 hours and he starts finally going downhill. And you're like, all right, this is my time to strike. And so I have some videos of me looking at his ass 2 hours into practice.
In saying that though, like to some degree, you know, he's above everyone else. So for him, he's arm wrestling people that are 30% weaker than him. So to him, it's, I mean, if we were to arm wrestle a bunch of people that far below us, I feel like we would just go for hours and hours and hours, but geez.
Well, that's what I was thinking about. That's why one of the biggest compliments he ever gave me was when he says, I can't train with you anymore. I said, how strong? Have I got a lot stronger? He goes, yeah, you're strong, but I can't really train with you anymore. That means I'm doing damage. That means he can't just day after day arm wrestle me. It'll turn him up a little too much. Fuck yeah. Say, take that, you son of a bitch. That's all I got.
Fuck you and your pancakes.
Dude, it's wild. I don't think I've ever met anybody that has such like muscular endurance. Like it's just that's his biggest thing is obviously his endurance and his table IQ. Those are like on such a crazy level that people, unless you're there and you really experience it, or you're at a high enough level, at least up here, where you can really grasp how smart he is and how well I can fill out a great test, right? A written test of arm wrestling. I can do really good. I can score really high on it. But application on the table is a kind of a separate thing, right? As far as making it muscle memory and applying it. And he is off the charts. Off the charts.
Yeah, we felt that.
Yeah, it fucking sucks.
That's shit.
I'm gonna whoop his ass next time. I can't wait. Dude, you guys, I'm lifting so fucking hard right now. I don't even know why, but I am. I am training my fucking ass off. So I'm gonna become like 450-pound Derek. It's gonna get like fucking just
fucking 450-pound Derek.
Fuck you, man.
Fucking what a massive cunt. Oh my
I'll be able to bench press my weight once.
What's that?
I'll bench press my weight one time. That's the goal. I'll get 450 pounds and I'll bench myself one time. It'll be a beast.
Fuck you, man.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So just quickly, speaking of you wanting to crush Devin next time, because I know he was there the very first time you got introduced to arm wrestling. And what was it, probably close to 6 months ago, maybe a bit less, you trained with him.
Yeah, he called me out for a super match with 2 days notice. Yep, that one.
Oh, is that how it went?
Yes, that's how it works. Because he knows I'll say yes.
Yeah.
He's just like, hey, just so you know, I'm coming out that way. Let's have a super match in like 2 days. So I'm like, fucking, let's run it. Like, what am I gonna say? No, of course I'm gonna like, yeah, let's fucking do it. And that's just, dude. I've had 3 crazy ass super matches in my life. I had Tim Bresnan, John Brzenk, and Devin Lair. Right? I've had super matches all 3 of them. All 3 of them I got 3-0'd, right? But all 3 of them were like, and not that I would have won with prep. I'm not saying that. Dear God, everybody relax. Internet relax. Right? I'm just saying that with no prep, like no notice, like at all. I'm just like, yeah, I'll do it. Let's fucking run it. And just keep getting my ass kicked by these guys. So I've lost to the best, you guys. I've lost to the very best. All right. But yeah, with Devin, it was just like he said he was gonna be in the area. He wanted to pull, and last time he didn't tell me. No, they don't tell me this shit till after we're done pulling. But he was mad because last time there was a video out of me whooping his ass at the end of practice, and at the beginning of practice. He pulled Eric's photo, and then I was the second one to pull him at practice, and I was giving it to him, right? And so he wanted a video of him destroying me. The same thing happened to John. I didn't know John was fucking pissed at me after I met John Brezink. He told me that night we were getting drunk, and he's like, yeah. Like a year and a half ago, you said something to me, and it kind of bothered me. So yeah, I actually prepped because he took that match serious with me. Like John was pissed at me. He was fucking mad, and he beat my ass. But whatever, dude. What do you guys do if Devin comes to your area and says he's have a super match? You guys gonna say no?
Oh, 100% saying yes.
Fucking come on, mate.
Yeah, let's just get it in. Let's figure out. Let's see what's what. And hey, there was some angles there. I'm telling you right now, there were some angles, Devin, that when we were setting up and stuff in the straps, and I was like, before he started all the cheats, where he was like loading up, and I was looking at his face, and he was like loading up everything, and I was like at like 85-90%, and I was like, oh yeah. And then the thing is, he felt that angle, and immediately I never felt that angle again. Like immediately, like that angle stopped, and then I never got anywhere close to that angle again at all. Son of a bitch. But it was a great experience, but it sucked because like that was like a big moment for me as far as social media goes. That was like my first like big moment where like it really helped me out, and I had a good chance to grow. And it sucked because there was not a lot of behind the scenes footage of as far as like getting to know me. So on his channel, all people knew was I'm this giant dude who's pissed off and pacing around, and I lose to Devin, and that's it. Like, suck it up, this Derek Smith guy, suck it up. Like that was the general approach. And it sucked because one of the selling points that people like about my channel is me talking and being, I don't know, humble, relatable. These are shit people say to me. So it sucks because they didn't get to see any of that. All they saw was this big dude who lost and was pissed.
Yeah. Far out.
Context.
Context.
Yeah. I mean, you fucking made him turn Japanese. Do you remember that video that came out?
I did.
Well, what the hell?
I haven't seen the video, just saying.
What?
I don't think he knows what he's saying.
But give me some context.
He's just straining so hard that he's like, he's just trying his best. It sounds Japanese. Unless is he really speaking Japanese though? If someone breaks that down and he really is, I'm gonna be so mad at him.
And it'd be funny if there actually was some Japanese in there.
Yeah.
Like when he went over there, did arm sumo, he actually learned some phrases and like brought him back and said them.
Did he? Yeah.
That'd be horrible.
Devin can speak I'm pretty sure I've heard him speak another language before.
German.
He speaks German? A bit of German, yeah. That's right.
Yeah. He's an enigma. Like, yeah. The guy's a fucking, he's like a government built and assembled monster from Canada, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. To hold people to that standard is like weird, right? He's not a normal dude. But then again, at the top level, you name me a normal dude. Like, there are none. There are no normal dudes in the top, 10 in the world. So
yeah, that's true.
Either they got arms
special in their own right.
Yeah, they got giant hands, arms that don't straighten out, or it's like so much steroids you can't even believe to understand it, or it's like there's some crazy shit going on. Tendons repositioned and surgery, like it's some crazy shit going on. Yeah. And not that I'm some normal dude, but like fuck, man. Like
you're normal.
As far as like huge,
You're normal
in that spectrum, eh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
For Brisbane, you're normal.
Yeah. Brisbane normal. Yeah.
Maybe even a little bit small, like
a little bit, a little underwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's part of the puzzle.
Okay, so where are you guys at? Where are you guys ranked right now in your weight classes in Australia?
Well, I'm currently number 1 ranked 90 kilos.
Woo!
And then I would say overalls, I believe I'm easily top 10.
And what about you?
Oh, I don't even know where I'm at the moment.
Mario's, I would say, is 1 place ahead of me.
There you go. Well, you guys don't practice. You don't practice together.
Nah, 2 different states, mate. Sydney, he's in Sydney, I'm in Melbourne. But the last weeks, Murray was down for a super match with Brett Coots.
Yeah.
Which I actually
That was
asked.
fun.
How'd that go, Mario?
I lost both arms.
Fucking hell.
But
I
you did
know.
get a pin on the left, Matt, which no one does to Brett.
Are you
Yeah,
big lefty?
yeah.
Are you lefty or righty?
Lefty's just less injured. That's it. It's just had more time to practice. That's all it
Same
is.
with my left. Just
Yeah.
stay healthy.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, Brett did hold Ron Barth and just fucking stare at him at Arnold's at 2018. Like that's the standard. And he's number one.
I thought it was like
left-handed
from
at the moment.
my foreign, uneducated American ass was like, all right, Ryan Bowen, Mario. That's how it makes it sound like in his videos, like right there. So there's Brett Coots in between that. You and Ryan.
Brett would be above Ryan because
Oh.
Ryan technically Ryan has never beat Brett. That's
never.
it in the story.
He just
I
puts
don't
himself above
understand
him.
why he ranks
Blue just says he thinks he can beat Brett, so he's above Brett. But every time he said that, Brett's just spanked him.
Which is crazy because like Brett seems so strong, but it's just like, who does his arm wrestling style remind me of? Like a smaller Dennis Saplenko, like just open and just holding and relying on just brute strength. Not all brute strength, but like a lot of it. You know what I mean? And just kind of like
it's brutal holding strength and fucking just rotation.
That's crazy. His hit's not really backwards; it's more corkscrew.
Yep, corkscrew. Perfect.
Perfect. Damn. Yeah, and it's weird. You're gonna get lost in his pronation in the hook. Like Mario, you felt it on the right. When he was driving, he couldn't drive through you, and then there was a minor adjustment into pronation.
Yeah, we both adjusted at the same time. I fucked up.
And then bang, you can't do anything.
Shit happens.
Lockie Adair hasn't even beat Brett Coots left or right yet.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
So
our
Brett's
fucking
just
golden boy.
Nowhere? Like he just doesn't exist. He's like this mythical creature. It's never ranked, but just
he's he's one of the OGs, one of the best in Australia consistently. But because he's been inactive because of COVID, everyone just assumes, he's out of place.
He's off the radar.
He's off the radar. So hang on.
Mate.
Give props where props are due. He's if he preps and goes to the over the top comp, I guarantee you he's going to shake up everyone. Lockie Adair, Ryan Scott.
I got a fun game for you guys. I'm going to throw out some names, and you guys tell me.
Oh,
and you guys tell me where they're ranked in their weight class, according to you guys.
All right, done.
All right.
Fuck.
Yeah.
This is going to piss off some Aussies. I can't wait. This is going to be great. So Rick Kamina. Kamana?
Oh, Kamana.
Yeah.
He's
actually,
nice
you versed him. You versed him, Andy.
Yeah.
I mean,
with respect, I don't rank him very high. With respect, at the moment.
Well, so what does that mean? Like top 50?
No, I would say
not even top 50.
No. He's competitive in his weight class. He just fluctuates a lot, so it's hard to tell where he's at. If an informed Rick Kamana comes up and say competes at 90 kilos, I would say he's a top 5. I would say if he does all the right things. But I think with my experience with him and how I felt, it's really hard to gauge. I thought he had more in him, but it might have just been an off day. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Mar, you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I've only gripped him once with Kamana.
All right.
Yeah.
What about Big Murray?
Murray who?
Look, Murray's probably the biggest troll in Australia. He's a strong dude, but he's well past his prime. At the moment, he wouldn't hold up very well to anyone. Like pound for pound, he wouldn't hold up very well.
So he's not high ranked in the supers?
Not these days. No, Murray and I would go through him. Yeah.
Oh, then that's not.
And I heard he's lost quite a bit of weight in the last year or so. He's no longer a super heavy. He's like around the 225 pound mark, give or take.
And he's like my height.
Yeah.
Man, skinny.
Yeah.
Okay. The other Andrew Lee, or the one that
from
the Hop that runs the Hop. Yeah. But boy, how's he doing?
When he's in form, like he's a very strong dude. Like so before Danny Tesh retired, Danny Tesh came to train with us Victorians, and Andrew Lee was the only one to pin him.
Really? Dude,
Yeah.
Andrew was strong. I pulled him in 2015 at Malaysia at the World Championships. We gripped up, and I was like, dude, he would not fucking stop.
All right, so Andrew Lee ranks, I would say he's in, it's hard to tell. I think he's around 95 kilos, maybe 93 kilos. If he cut to under 90s, he's easily top 5.
Okay.
In form.
That's my boy. Yeah. How's Taryn doing?
He's good. We funny story. So we picked him up from the airport on Saturday, brought him over to the House of Pain. Within 15 minutes, he was munting.
What's munting? What is that? That's
throwing up.
Oh, that's what he said. He said it was a fucking sauna there. He said, wait, it's a Nazi camp over there at the Hop. I think
fucking couldn't fucking handle it, mate.
Yeah, couldn't handle the heat.
He's just couldn't fucking handle it.
Mr. One Punch Up.
Yeah, legit.
You guys have it at like 115 degrees in there? Oh, Fahrenheit.
So,
I don't know what it is.
The deal is, Andrew won't let us have any fans or air cons on.
Why?
Because he's just a psycho. That's to the experience. So essentially, there'll be 20, 30 people in a room, packed in like sardines, and it's just that hot. It is like a sauna in there.
You're fucking legit walking over cunts and walking over weights and benches and fucking tables and shit.
Oh, that sounds like hell.
Yeah.
It sounds
It's
like
amazing.
So,
it's amazing.
Yeah. Taryn gripped up with Brett Coots first, and then he gripped up with, I think it was me second, and then he went and threw up after that.
Did he come back and get back at it, or did he puss out after that?
He did eventually, yeah. We went at it a few more times, and after he threw up, he felt a bit better, but he was just pale like a ghost, like he was visibly sick. Yeah. So,
wait, is that at Andrew's house? Is that where the Hop's at?
No, it's at his business. It's the ground level of his business. He's just has a gym there.
Is there like another room that's AC that's like cold though, or is the whole place is just fucking steaming hot?
You just go outside if you have to. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
So where would you rank Taryn, Muzz? He competes under 80s, I think.
Under 80s? Fuck. Who have we got? We've got Phil currently sitting number 1. Sam currently number 2. I'd say he's probably number 3, number 4.
Yeah.
With the addition of maybe Bobby Wrigley from Perth. I think he can get under 80, and he's fucking strong as fuck.
Never heard of Bobby Wrigley. He has to get on it.
Yeah. If Andrew Manfrey competed under 80s, because he sits at around like 83, 84 kilos.
Number 1.
He's number 1 straight away.
Yeah.
Wait, Andrew Manfrey.
There's a third Andrew in Victoria. They call him the Crowbar.
Wait, that's the one that makes the YouTube videos, right? The funny guy?
Sushi Mango.
Okay.
He's very strong. Very, very
Is he?
strong.
I met him. We hung out at the same World Championships, but I didn't really pull him too much.
Yeah. Yeah. So who's that guy? Is it Vrez?
Vrez,
yeah.
Unstoppable left hooker. Manfrey just has that weird side pressure lat commitment. It's just, he doesn't threaten your hand. So you feel like you can get purchased on it, but you just get sunk in. It's weird. He's a very hard person to top roll. But he's not in form at the moment. He's had a few little injuries that he's just trying to get on top of. But
gotcha.
Yeah. An informed Manfrey is a scary dude. He recently went to Queensland and gripped up with Jordan Davis, Phil Rasmussen, all of them guys, and just played with them.
Really?
Yeah.
Jordan's pretty good, right?
Yeah, he's good.
He's very good. He's very good. Look at his Lottie performance.
Very good. Yeah.
So good. Yeah, this is just like, because over here, I don't know who's good. All we have is Ryan Bowen and his word and what he says. That's all anybody has.
Just for all the Americans out there, just there's more to arm wrestling than Brisbane. Just please.
Just do a bit of research.
Just do a bit of research. Like,
do a bit. This is me doing my research right here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Any other Aussies? Any other special mentions?
Yeah, I mean, special mentions, who's that? Tim Graham. What other Aussies do I know of? Oh shit, he's gonna kill me. Fuck. His Grant's dad. Oh fuck.
It's that.
He was
Grant's dad.
Somebody Grant Tolentino? No.
is that I think it was a different Grant. Oh
Or
fuck, man.
Not
This is gonna bother the shit out of me.
not
He's
Adam
came to the United
Laura's
States
dad?
like 3 times. If in arm wrestling. What the fuck's his name? Whatever, I'll think about it later.
Yeah.
I know he has a son. He has a son that arm wrestled. I thought he told me his son was Grant, and they went to the World Championships 2015 together.
Not
And
Adam
his son
Laura?
was who?
Not Adam Laura and his dad?
Adam Laura never went World Championships.
He didn't?
But he grew up in the States. Adam Laura.
He always refs. Tom.
Tommy Glazier.
Tom McGlacy.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes. Tom. Fuck. Yeah, sorry, Tom. I'm sorry. We haven't talked in years, man. Give me a break, man. All right.
Yeah.
All right. And then
that.
Grant. Yeah, I did meet Grant at the World Championships as well.
He's got his son Dalton.
Dalton.
Yeah.
Fuck. Why did I think Grant? Dalton.
That's all right.
Yeah.
We're
it was
gonna-
2015, bro.
We're gonna
It's a
send
long time ago,
Yeah.
man.
We're gonna
Fucking
send
long
this to
time.
Tom now.
No, he's on my team page. Like I have a private team page where I talk to my teammates, and Tom's in there. I let him
Yeah.
come into my team. He's the only person not on my team that's in my team page.
Tom's an awesome.
Because he said it was at the beginning. He's like, "Hey, okay, you run your team. I'd like it'd be cool if I could stay there and kind of see how someone runs a team from over there." And so I let him stay on my team page and watch our inner workings.
Yeah. We call him the dad of arm wrestling.
Yeah,
Well, when I said he's a dad, that should have fucking
Yeah.
lit off some bells, you guys.
Yeah. He's the
When you
father
missed your
figure. He's just
Yeah.
makes you feel like
He was strong. He had a strong left hand too.
Yeah.
I think.
he's a strong dude.
Yeah.
So you guys training? You guys both are doing table time once a week and then gym or what?
Yeah, I mean, Muzz is doing his own. Trains a bit different to me, but we kind of did like a hybrid of both our trainings while he was down.
Right.
So he took me through his kind of a gym workout the other day. We did like lots
Yeah.
of bench, shoulder, military press, incline press, those sorts
Yeah.
of
And that just that really stabilizes your internal rotation, you know.
Yeah, I see you.
Yes.
So there's pretty much I've come up with it. There's pretty much three approaches to arm wrestling training, and there's small variants within the three. But there's pretty much three. There's pure table time people that look okay. Three ways people look to make gains in arm wrestling. Okay, table time, compound movements with pulley systems and bands in different directions and shit, and then isolated movements like bodybuilding and shit. It's pretty much one of the three, and people will mix around a little bit of it. But as far as making strength gains, it's one of the three that people pick. Whether they do 9 pulleys in different directions and they try to replicate arm wrestling, which I think is impossible, but they try that shit with the band this way and a pulley this way and a back handle this way, or you do pure arm wrestling, which would be great if you have the right team and you have the right structure and you're in the right place within the hierarchy of the team.
That's right.
Or there's isolated movements, kind of like a bodybuilder, and then with some like table time to put it together. But as far as the physical gains, isolated movements like a bodybuilder. Yeah. So it's kind of one of the three. Everybody follows one of the three pretty much.
Yeah, that's how I've done it for years. Isolated movements, table time twice a week. Boom, that's it.
Yeah. Table time's more for coordination and making sure everything's tip top, and then isolation is for muscle building. Yeah,
that's it.
For sure. Yeah, definitely.
Pretty explain, simple. Because that's the one that makes most sense to me. Because I feel like if I don't know how I always relate arm wrestling to like driving, like race car drivers. I'm not even in the cars at all. But the it's like I'd rather do I want to be a race car driver. I want to know everything that's inside my engine, right? So I want to learn about the arm. And then if something's going wrong, I want to know how they all function and how they work for me. So I can take it out and work on it or buy a new one or replace it, fix that one component, put it back in. Every Sunday, I take it out to the racetrack, practice, right? Test it out, come back. Okay, the pronator needs more, the this and that needs more, and I know how to hit it, isolate it, and then fix it. But when you do these huge compound movements, to me, shit gets lost in translation, right? So I did 400 pounds like this. Okay, well, but which muscles did you tax the most? Which ones kicked in? Arm wrestling's not normally at that angle. Depends on the guy you're arm wrestling. Like there's a lot of different weird things about it. And it's sloppy and messy. To me, arm wrestling purely off table time or the big compound movements is sloppy as far as measuring it and applying it on a real tournament. To me, that's how I see it. So
I agree.
isolated makes more sense.
Yeah.
Did sorry. Did when you went to Turkey and spoke to Engin, obviously you would have spoken in depth about how he trains and stuff, right? Yeah. Nah?
Yeah.
We
talked.
So,
I definitely more Ingen was my coach. I paid Ingen for 2 months of online coaching about a year ago, right?
Okay.
So we used to talk at length like this. We'd have Zoom calls and stuff, meet him. So I got a lot of the information way back then, and that's kind of when I switched a lot of my training around.
Okay.
But so my goal for this trip was kind of like, I wanted to see what he's working with, like see his hometown and what his gym's like and what he's kind of working with. And I wanted to get on the table with him more and work more specific table stuff. But his gym was under construction the exact 3 days that I was there. Like he showed me the gym, and it was the walls are tore down. There's paint everywhere. It was like all fucked up. And so it was more like getting to know Ingen and his approach, his philosophies towards arm wrestling as a sport, and towards like how he approaches matches and things like that. Just more mental shit. As what we ended up talking about, but it was great. Like I got a lot out of it. I don't know if you guys saw the video I put out where we had that dinner and we talked for like 40 minutes about he's talking about shit for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But no, I learned a lot about his approach and as a person who he is more, and which is important because I want to know like where he's coming from and a lot of things he says. But yeah, we didn't get too in there as far as the small details, but I do know a good amount from my past coachings with England and this trip for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Ah, good.
Why? What do you want to know?
Everything, all the secrets. Unload, please.
Yeah.
Well, in the recent video I did, the biggest takeaway I had, like, well, not biggest, but one of the biggest takeaways I had was that like it's this. I made a video about it called Silver Bullet. I named it Silver Bullet. I don't know. There's two styles of arm wrestling. Basically, I see that they're prominent. There's Silver Bullet arm wrestling, where you arm wrestle and you're trying to find the exact one thing that'll kill this person. Right. Yeah. The one small trick that'll kill this werewolf, right, for a Silver Bullet. But you like, okay, so say this guy's a deep hooker. And so you're flying all the way out to his bottom two fingers and everything you can to counteract the exact counter to his one move. Right.
Yeah.
And then you'll try to figure out after that, like there's this one thing you're trying to do. And then there's a different style, and I haven't come up with a real creative name for it yet, but it's more of a control-based style, which is what Ingen and them do. When Ingen's talking to me about like the way he sets up, he grips like not quite dad move, but not too far off either. And then he makes small adjustments off that. So it's good for a tournament. If you don't know what the other guy's going to do, it's good for that, right? You make small adjustments. But so say you are a powerful hook puller and Egan's going to pull you. He's not going to get some crazy ass grip up into your fingertips and get ready to fly out unless you're like Dennis Spikeoff. He knows how to do that crazy Silver Bullet shit. But in general, he's still going to grab you pretty fucking low. And so he trains the shit out of his hand and wrist and forearms and stuff, and a lot of those guys do. So that way he can do it from a place of control, because he sees the bottom side of his hand right here for controlling you below the wrist, and he sees the top part of his hand as controlling you above the wrist, and then his fingers are to control your pronation, right? So he grabs you in a place where he can do that, where this can access below your wrist, this above your wrist, and this in your pronation, and everything is done from there. So he's going to top roll you from the base of your fucking hand. So in order for him to do that, he has to have so much hand control strength. And so we were talking about that, and he's like, that's how like John Brzezinski and them arm wrestled, and it did. Like John was never like doing this crazy ugly shit, right? He was more like total control. You're not running, you're not slipping, and I'm just gonna own you. And there's nowhere for you to go. If you try to go sideways, block, right? Because he's deep in your hand. So it's more of a control style rather than flailing out. And so Devin, if you think about it, is kind of the opposite, right? Devin is like the ultimate Silver Bullet. Right. So not only on personalities do they conflict, but on their whole approach to arm wrestling, it conflicts in a lot of ways. Right. And so it's just, and then you start looking at it like it's kind of people do one or the other. And a lot of Europeans are more like, that's why everybody's hand and wrist felt so fucking insane over there. Like that was the number one, even old dudes. I'm grabbing like 65-year-old Turkish dudes' hands. I'm like, holy shit. And like all of them just monstrously strong forearms and wrists. And it was like, the more I started looking at it, their whole way approaching the sport is about control, and not you have like no options, right? And then they control everything from the center, which is a really different style of approaching arm wrestling compared to the United States, at least.
Yeah, interesting.
A lot of because it all starts with here. That's why people were like, "Did you grip up with Levon? Did you grip up with Vitali? Did you, like Gennady?" I gripped up with Hermes. And you could say, and then not a dig at Hermes, but you could say Hermes is the weakest out of those like four, right? And I couldn't even begin to get through Hermes's hand to feel his. The only time I did, we put on the straps later on in practice, and left-handed, I fucking dumped, loaded a ton. I was like, dragging back as far as I could, try to get my hand kind of out of the fucking equation, and just yanked this fucking strap back. And I got one stop on him left hand. eventually, but just pure like as much arm as I could possibly use compared to my hand. And I could stop him barely. And all that showed me is, fuck, his hand is so strong. It protects everything else so well. And then I'm like, I grip up with Vitaly a day later, and I'm like, dude, there's just no way. Like, what? No one here is gonna let me get anywhere near their arm. It's just not gonna happen.
That's
Right?
amazing.
So what is the point? Everybody I grab up with LeVon, all them, there's like at will, will just like flop my hand around like a fucking fish. So like, what is the point? I'm not gonna keep trying to dig on all you guys. Like armies, okay, I can't get past you. I'm definitely not gonna be able to get past them, like past their hands at all, right? And so it's just like, I saw the top of the mountain, and now I'm home training like a fucking monster. Like I'm training so hard right now, trying to get ready because I see now. I saw how strong that level is, and there's a ways to go. Yeah. So, God, I feel bad for everybody that's on a local level around me because, guys, in the next few months, shit's gonna start getting scary. So, yeah.
Fuck yeah, man.
So, are you training for something specifically? Any event?
No, it's at that. It showed me just like the broad. I have so far to go up this mountain. Like I'm not trying to look at pit stops right now or anything like that. Okay. I gotta start moving. I gotta start hiking up this fucking mountain. Like I don't have time. I'm not even looking at anything else. So there's a tournament in later this month. My team's going to. I'm commentating there. I'm supposed to go out to train with Michael before his match. I'm gonna fly out there and train with him so he gets used to my lever length. But I mean, as far as competition, no. I mean, I called out Alex Kardeka. Not publicly. I messaged him, said, hey, I'd love to have a match with you one day. He said yes. So if I want a real match, I have to figure out the specifics for that and make it work. Obviously, me being the underdog, so I'd have to get him like flown to wherever and paid and whatever. So that's on my list. As far as international competition, I really want to pull Alex. This big dude, and it feels like I could do something with it. But
that'd be fucking sick.
It would be cool. And if I have to go to Poland, I'll go to Poland. But yeah, it's that. But on United States soil, I still want to beat Mike Aiello, who's my biggest goal here, and then Alex is kind of international. But yeah, I mean, so I'm working towards that, but I haven't set any dates for anything. I'm just, dude, I have to get so fucking strong. Like they are so goddamn. Their hands are so strong. It's just wild. It's wild. So lots of work to do. Lots of work benching and trying to get thick boy. Trying to be a thick boy.
Yeah. That's sick. 450, mate. That's where we want to see you.
That's it. 450.
Yeah. I mean, the last huge giant guys like that were like Russian and Georgian, right? Maybe like a clearly English speaking gigantic monster, just walking around. Everybody wonders what it looked like if Brian Shaw was an arm wrestler instead. I'm gonna try to fulfill that fantasy for a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's gonna be bad.
He's huge, dude.
So tell us a bit about your trip to Dubai. Now that we're on kind of the Hermes and the Vitalis and all of that, because I know you spent a bit of time with them, Michael Todd.
Yeah, no, Mike wasn't there when I went to Dubai. He was already home. But
was he? I was too. Yeah.
What's that?
No, you're right. Fuck.
Yep.
It's all blurred.
The when I got there, let's see, it was me and Larry had like a day and a half or 2 days together before Hermes or anybody got there. And that's when we shot the 2 videos that came out with me in the title or whatever. And so that was good. Like going out there, Dubai is super tourist friendly. Everything is like, has Arabic and English and like every sign, everybody pretty much speaks English that I ran into. Then like they had like food delivery apps, like things we have, like, it was really easy. It was really easy to be a tourist in Dubai. Super safe. There's like, if you steal anything, you get deported like immediately. Like they don't fuck around with any like the laws. So it's super safe there. Adam Silver, Larry's cameraman, would like set down his camera equipment worth like, I don't know, $10,000 or whatever it was, and just be like, oh, we're good, just leave there, it's fine. And we'd walk away to a different building and shit. He's like, no one's gonna touch it. I promise you that. And like no one would. So it was really, really safe. And people will get, especially in America, we get this false sense of like, if we go anywhere, we're gonna get a bag put over our head and taken away and like, ransomed out or some shit.
Yeah.
So it was good to know that like, that's not really gonna happen. And then but besides that, so I met up with Adam, and Adam picked me up from the airport. Super nice dude. We went and got food and stuff like that, and he was super hospitable. And then met up with Larry. Larry's a great dude. It's crazy how he wants to learn. Like he gives you all his attention. When you talk to him, he locks in. He's like, he's absorbing as much as you can. Yeah. He's getting so much information from so many people. But it looks like now it's starting to transfer over more and more. He's starting to like grasp it and really get the basic concepts of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, trade with Larry. He way more down to earth guy than you would think. As far as like I just shooting the shit with him. But I think he's starved for like some like if you guys weren't around any Australian people ever, and then you all of a sudden one showed up, you'd be like, "Oh, what's up, mate? You guys would like do your Australian shit?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm American, he's American. I'm like, "What's up, man?" He goes, "Oh, man, what's up?" Like, hey,
Yeah.
someone from the land, you know.
Yeah.
Like, so we got to hang out a little bit and shoot the shit, and like we got each other's jokes and stuff. And then I met his girlfriend Nicole, and she's fucking hilarious. And yeah, so I got to chop it up with them for a while. But Larry seems to be like going all out for arm wrestling right now. So we did our RT trainings, and then behind the scenes, I'm the reason that Larry, Nicole, Adam, Vitaly, Gennady, and all them went to Turkey. That was me. I did all that. If I wasn't there, they would not have gone to Turkey. And we went out to lunch, dude. I was so hyped. I went out to lunch. It was just me, Larry, and Nicole. And she was on her laptop doing some shit. We were just having lunch, not filming anything, just talking. And then I think Nicole asked, like, "What are you up to?" I go, "Oh, I leave in like 2 days. I'm going to Turkey to train with this, like, I should know who Ingen was. I was like, this legendary arm wrestling coach guy." And I was like, "And there's some crazy stuff going down." And she goes, "Oh, Turkey, tell me more." And she's all excited about it. And I was like, "Yeah, this is fucking sick." I was like, I can't wait to learn. And then there's this big competition going on. And she's like, and she immediately, as I'm talking, pulls up her laptop and starts looking at tickets, like ticket prices. And then she looks at Larry, and she sounds like, you guys ever see Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and all that, those movies? She sounds like, was it Beluga, the one that eats the blueberry and turns blue and shit, you know? And she's like, Larry, I want to go. And then Larry's like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" And then she just keeps going, like, we're going. Look at the flights of this, and this. And she's like, going ham with it. And I'm sitting there in the back, fucking go. I'm goading her on, like, this is gonna be so sick. If you get Vitaly, Larry, I told Larry, Larry, you're gonna walk into that room, and that is the depths of arm wrestling. Like, that is not you only dealing with the most famous guys we have. That's you going into like the heart of arm wrestling, into Turkey, you know, where it's like a national, you know, treasure. And that's going in there and just shaking hands with the top WAF presidents. Like, this is like deep arm wrestling shit. And I was like, dude, that'd be so insane if you went. People would be like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, dude, let's do it. And she went ham and she made it happen. And then and so then Vitaly was there, and Gennady was flying in like one day. And they're like, hey guys, Gennady, I think, was in Dubai for like not even 24 hours. And they're like, we're going to Turkey. And he had to get another flight. They bought him a flight, and he flew to Turkey immediately. So it was I was super hyped on that. I was like tripping about them going out there. Yeah, and then Hermes showed up, and then Hermes went over to Dubai or to Turkey as well. But he was planning on going there anyway. He was already had his flights for there. But yeah, dude, Hermes, he's strong. He's a good dude. He's really like energetic. You guys seen the videos and stuff, but a really nice guy off camera. But he has his whole he's starting a YouTube charge right now, because COVID fucked him over in a few different ways, like business wise. Yeah. And so he's going all out on YouTube's right now, like trying to make that stab. So he has a manager, he has a personal trainer, and he has a cameraman that follow him around. 3 guys. It's a 4-man team, and they go around everywhere together. That's why you see the guy in the suit and shit in the back.
Yeah, it's like a fucking entourage, man.
Yeah. And like, dude, it's, I mean, and they're rightfully so. They're like watching his image and shit. Like, they don't want anything. Like, we were doing a skit where like Hermes loses in the skit in a completely like scripted fake thing, and they're like, and then you lose, and like the manager's all, whoa, what? He loses? Wait, hold on. We're like, no, it's totally joking. Like, hold on, camera's off. Wait, loses? Like, what are we talking about? Like, dude, they're tripping on it, and we're like, whoa, relax, man. It's just, it's just a skit, and but it's cool. Like, he's going all out though with this YouTube thing. That's why, in relation to him versus Vitaly in that practice match, Hermes is going all out to make himself known and to cement himself as a top puller. He is prepped and ready to go right now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And Vitaly is big chillin' with a little belly on him. Vitaly has nothing to prove. He's proven it. And, like, he was just there to film some videos and have a good time. Like, he didn't even have a YouTube channel when he got out there, Vitaly. He I remember we were at the dinner, and he had like less than 1,000. He had like 900 subscribers, and he was laughing. He showed me on his little phone, like, look, I have 900 subscribers. Now he has like 11,000. But anyway, he was just having a good time. That's why you see when Vitaly's losing in practice, Vitaly's like laughing. He doesn't really care about it too much, because he knows when shit's on the line, what's going to really fucking happen, type of thing.
Oh yeah.
But everybody's reading into that. And not that Hermes isn't on some crazy level. He is. But like, you got to remember, Vitaly is not, he's not making this huge charge on social media right now, not trying to beat everybody he sees. So it's a little different. But yeah, it was, dude. Then after that, went to Turkey. I think that was about it.
Fuck yeah, Matt.
What a fucking sick trip.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Oh, it was great. It was like a week in Dubai and a week in Turkey. But yeah, I mean, I did the practice, I guess, with Hermes too. There was that. So on that topic, I've said the story a couple times. I don't know if you guys heard, but it was like I got that stop on him left-handed. And so the whole practice goes, nobody touched Hermes. Like in any position from anywhere on the table. I'm talking about like open arm, he would just do whatever he wanted to every single human being there. Right. And it wasn't, and I'm like, okay, fucking cocksucker. And I'm like, I'm pretty tired and beat up at the same time. And I'm like, dude, I gotta get something. So I'm like, and I remember, him and Matt's match and like how the angles looked. Right. And so I was like, let me dump this and like get a real Matt-y angle going on here. And I even slid that fucking strap down as far as I could. That shit got like halfway down my forearm. And I was like, all right, let's get this shit. And he hits and I was like, and I stop it and I bring him back to center table. Right. And I know at that point I could have pinned him. I look at him and he knows I could have pinned him. And I look at his manager and I know the camera's on here right now. And I'm like thinking to myself, I go, listen, I know it's practice. I know it's flawed. I know it's not a big deal if I pin him. It's fucking practice. But I know the internet's gonna go crazy. I know I already saw the future.
Yeah.
Derek pins him and people start talking shit. And then and then all of a sudden Hermes talking shit about me because I pinned him in practice.
Had an epiphany, mate.
Yeah, and then it's just like this big thing. And so I'm center table with him and I'm like, and I just let up and I go, good bet. Like, cause I knew all this shit that would happen if I would just pin him there at practice.
Yeah.
But the funny part is you go back and you watch it on Hermes' channel and the whole practice is live, is like streamed. And right when it gets to that moment, they clipped out the moment where I stop him and bring him back to center table. They took just that 5 seconds out of their video and they put everything, they pasted it all together. It's so funny. Because you can see it in Larry's video and then it's just that one part's clipped out. It's fucking great. It's not a big deal. It's practice, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, look, he is Italian, so you could have had like a fucking mafia just knock you off of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They were good. They were all good dudes. I mean, the Italians are pretty serious, though, man. Pretty serious dudes.
Yeah.
Besides Hermes, he laughed a lot. God, you guys see these?
Bro.
Is that intimidating? Am I scaring you guys? I don't know. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's too much muscle here.
You need to settle down, mate. You're starting to look like you're from Brisbane. All right, just calm down.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Hey, wait, is Lachlan from Brisbane?
He is. Yeah.
Ah, son of a bitch. Oh yeah, because Ryan goes to his house all the time.
That's right.
Yeah, mate.
One big dude looks crazy strong though. Marcus. Is he everything that he's supposed to be?
He's a strong guy. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he has the potential to kill us all, but
Can you guys beat him right now?
I haven't gripped up with him, but
I actually got a sit match with him 5th of June.
do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We'll see how that goes.
Well, you took a super match. I'm assuming you think you could beat him.
I'd just verse anyone, anywhere, anytime. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
Yeah. Apparently, so I spoke to Jordan Davis very recently, and he thinks Comstart he can beat Marcus, and if Jordan feels he can do that, I think I'm well within the ability to beat Marcus. So I think like in training, if you let him get access to angles, he'd definitely pin you. Because I've seen
on just some dumb angles too, huh? Just some like open wristed, like like that type of shit.
But
it's crazy.
I still think that in a comp, at least right now, I would just keep him out in a comp setting. Yeah, but
just keep him outside.
It's speculation. I'd love to pull him. So yeah.
And what about that kid that hammers his elbows?
Yeah,
weird kid.
Fuck.
Jules.
He's from fucking Andy's club.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh
The
shit.
Australian arm wrestling freak.
You guys are all just embracing that. I guess the house, hop.
I mean,
there you go.
I don't know if we were embracing
He's like
it,
your mascot.
but then we weren't really embracing it. But then Devin decided to do a fucking review of it.
This is actually quite impressive. But anyways, young fighter, I wish you the best on your journey.
And now that kid's gonna break his fucking arm trying to impress Devin, making more videos.
Yeah.
Is he strong? Is it working? I guess.
Look, he's got some strengths to him. I still think that. Well, look, he said to me the other day. I asked him, and I said, "Look, do you train normally as well, or is it just fucking ridiculousness?" And he's like, "No, I do train normally as well, but I also do that sort of shit on on the side. And I think to some degree it's all for the camera. But he's look, with love, he's a strange unit.
With love, he's a strange unit. I know Taryn tells me that all the time on Discord when we talk. He tells me that kid's weird.
Yeah. Yeah. He was telling us that he has like nightmares every single night. I said, like, that's not good.
Here, I'll stop. I'm gonna stop you there. We're on an arm wrestling team. I'm not your therapist.
Yeah.
Let's talk about arm wrestling.
So, yeah. All right. So let's wrap this up in 10 minutes with a cheeky Aussie slang quiz.
I'm fucking digging this.
Yeah,
This is gonna be sick.
So I reckon Muzz, you should do a Mike Nolan voice while you're asking the questions.
Nah, I'm all out of Mike Nolan voice. My throat's fucked from that.
Who's Mike Nolan?
So there's a
Oh,
there's a character from this Australian cartoon called The Big Les Show, and the character's called Mike Nolan, and he's just a smoking tradie who sounds like he has emphysema. So he walks around like, yeah, mate, how's it going, man? You barely understand what he's
I'm Mark Nolan and my mates call me Nosy.
saying. Oh, shit. All right. So
That's what I expect.
Yeah. So I know you already know what a Sheila is.
Yeah.
Can you tell me, question one, if I said send it, just send it, mate, what does it mean?
Go all out.
Fuck yeah, mate.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's good.
Well, that's not Aussie. Is that Aussie?
Send it. I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
Dude, that's like pop culture, bro. That's everywhere. Fucking send it, man.
Just send it. Is it? Okay.
Yes.
That's all right. Next question then. If I said go to Bunnings and get a snag, what am I talking about?
Say it one more time.
If I said go to Bunnings and go get a snag, what am I talking about?
Go to Bunnings and go get a snack. Okay, there's two things I have no fucking idea. Let's see. Bunnings. If I went somewhere and you sent me there to get something, it's probably a store.
Yep.
Of some sort, right? I'm assuming.
Yep.
And if you sent me to Snore to get a snag, it sounds so much like snack, so it's probably not a snack. Cigarette?
Nah. It means, so a snag is a sausage, like a sausage sizzle on a barbie. So go get yourself a sausage and bread. And Bunnings is a very Australian hardware store. It's notoriously known for having their sausage sizzles outside the store. Fucking go to Bunnings, mate.
Right.
Yeah.
It's Australian culture, mate.
I'll give you half a point there. So you're on 1.5 at the moment.
Gotcha.
What is a sanger?
A what?
A sanger.
Sanger. Fuck. Jesus. Well, these are like, man. Okay. Sanger. Is it a drink?
It is. I'll give you a clue. It is a type of food.
No idea. No idea. Not even a little bit.
A sandwich. Just
Your
Okay.
face says
All right.
it all.
All right. I connect the dots. I get it. Okay. All right.
Yeah, but-
That's some lazy. You guys are lazy as fuck. You
Fucking
short and sandwich Sanger. Come on.
All right, Muzz, you got a few?
Yeah, if I say if we're out at the pub or something, having a couple fucking tinnies, if I say pass us the fags, what do I mean?
Pass us the fags.
Yep.
If we're at a pub, so it's something there that I would have in a pub, right? I'm hoping.
It's just context, mate. Like we're sitting somewhere and we're fucking, we're outside having a feed or having a drink. Sorry.
Fucking Jesus, I have no. It's cigarettes again. Is it? Did you go back to it?
Oh fuck! You got it. Yes.
Yeah. You cheeky
Got one
bastard.
more for you.
All right.
Who's the guy behind me? Let me just
That's Crocodile Dundee. Everybody knows that.
okay, no.
You're offending us.
Australian icon. Steve.
That's what's his face. That's oh my god, I'm forgetting his name right now. That's Crocodile fucking oh my god. Fuck's his name? Steve Irwin. Irwin.
Hey,
Steve Irwin,
Yeah.
right?
half a point.
There we go. I didn't really think it was Crocodile Dundee. I was fucking with you guys. I know.
Oh, it's closest thing to it, honestly.
All right.
Real life.
If I say I want some goon, what do I want?
Some goon,
Yeah.
pussy.
It's wine in a box, goon bag,
Oh,
mate.
fuck. Well, that leads to getting chicks, so it's not like I'm all the way wrong. I mean, if you're drinking wine, then hopefully you have a girl coming over, because that'd be weird if you're not.
Yeah. Now, I don't actually know if you say this in America, but if I want to go to Macca's, where am I going?
McDonald's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have you have a lot of slang. There's so much. How did we get to this point? Started with English. Started with basic English at some point. I wonder if I can think of. I don't know what's like, because American. The thing that sucks about that is we played this game in reverse. American pop culture is fucking everywhere, so everybody knows all the American slang because it's super everywhere.
Yeah.
So that would be fun.
That's
Plus,
thanks to Hollywood. Hollywood.
Yeah.
And music.
Hollywood's only like an hour away from me. Hour and a half.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, you guys gotta come visit, man. Come out to my practice and we'll set you guys up. I got a guy. Who's heavier? Wait, Mario's heavier, right? I got a guy you should arm wrestle. Oh, you're heavier, Andy?
Yeah. I'm
Oh my.
let me work out what it is in pounds.
Really? You Mario, you look so fat compared to Andrew. That's
I know. It's fucking ridiculous.
I'm 245 pounds.
You are?
Yeah.
How tall are you?
6'2".
Yeah, you'd be
Damn.
6'2".
Dude, I did not know you were that big.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm 230 then. I'd be about 230.
It's deceiving.
Dude, I got a guy for you to arm wrestle. I got a guy on my team that is gonna upset the fuck out of everyone. And I've been trying to tell people on the low about him, but he's gonna go to the Arizona tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a character.
Are you gonna drop a name?
You could drop a name?
Oh
no,
Okay.
yeah, his name's Mike. His name's Mike. We call him Mega Mike. I put him in a lot of my videos, but he's like, oh yeah, he pulled with Mike Todd the other when Mike came out the other day and took Mike all the way to the Kings move. I'm like fucking shit, and like pulled Devin, same thing. Devin to the Kings and everything. And
What's his weight?
looks 270 right now.
Ooh, that's a heavy boy.
But he's gonna cut down to 242s. But yeah, he just hasn't given a fuck about his weight lately, so he's up. But dude, to start like if I go deep inside with him, well, not right now, I'm a monster right now. But up until my Dubai trip, when I would go deep inside with him, it was 50-50. Like he would just crank through my whole fucking arm just like wildly. And then he pulled with the other top supers around here, like inside right-handed. No one's touching him. You know what he is in Southern California. Yeah, he's a fucking madman. Yeah. So he's like 270. He can do that flag thing, you know, where you put your legs out.
Flagpole?
Yeah, he can do that shit at 270. Dude's a fucking
that's fucking amazing.
Yeah. So I'm
strong.
gonna unleash him on the world pretty soon.
Mate, as soon as borders are open for us and we're allowed international travel, yours truly is there. Yeah, you might have to set it up now.
Oh, dude, I don't know if you guys want any Mike. You know, I don't know.
Bro.
You'd have to run. I'll set it up if you say you're gonna hook with him.
I'll fucking hook with him.
Bro, I'll
don't give a fuck, mate.
Yeah. If someone says they're gonna hook me, it just means I'm gonna like hook even deeper. It's like fuck you. Like you want to go deep? I'll go deeper.
Go elbow,
I like that. Hell yeah.
Oh, dad move.
If you jab move him, I'll pay for your entire trip. I'll give you $3,000. I'll pay for the whole fucking. Done. All right, Zoom's kicking us off, so let's wrap it up.
Once again.
Yeah.
Again? Jesus.
Yeah. I know.
We're just fucking cheap cunts. All right.
So,
well, I only had a half a beer. Shit, I might still be able to go to the gym.
Yeah, mate.
Head back out there.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, mate. This is.
Thank you so much, man.
Awesome. I'll come back whenever you guys ever want me back. Let me know before you guys get all famous, so I can try to get on here.
Fuck yeah, part 2 coming out soon.
Part 2.
Shout out to Steve Irwin in the background, my boy.
Yeah, mate. Aussie icon.
All right, brother. Thanks for coming on. We'll see you soon.
Yeah. Thank you guys for
Thanks, Derek.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Talk to you guys later.